All right, let's go. All right, so I want to welcome those of you that are guests. I see a lot of wealthy shirts on here, so I see a lot of my team. Thank you for representing today. I see a lot of wealthy CEOs, but I see some guests that I've never seen before. So I got some things I'm gonna go over just so that you kind of understand where you are, what to expect, and what we'll be going over. So I want to say good evening to my world changers. Good evening to my millionaires. Good evening to my 7, 8, 9-figure earners. Good evening to my wealth magnets. Good evening to my land owners and property owners. Good evening to my massive investment portfolio owners. Good evening to my Airbnb owners. Good evening to my land owners. Good evening to my yacht owners. Good evening to my index fund owners. Good evening to my mutual fund owners. Good evening to my mansion owners, to my $1 billion art collection owners, to my 800 credit score CEOs, all of you, you know who you are. So I want to say good evening to all of you. I know it took a lot. You probably have had a long day. We are a group. We speak manifestation here, and manifestation actually happens. I want to thank you guys, those of you that are guests, for joining us. The Wealthy CEO Group is a boot camp that takes place every week. I coach and mentor many of everybody in the Wealthy CEOs. Many of them have hit 6 figures, some at 7 figures, some have claimed that they'll be at 8 figures. So I think that this group is very significant to many of you, and I want to thank you guys for being consistent. All right. So we have a special guest today. I'm gonna start off by, just for those of you that are new and those of you that joined us, we normally have a closed group. We probably have had 2 or 3 other meetings where master classes where we open it up to everybody. That's very rare. Normally this is a very closed knit group. All right, my CEO. So if you see somebody with a CEO hat, CEO shirt, wealthy shirt, you know that they are part of the movement. They are part of changing their lineage. They're a part of changing their children's and their children and their children's lives. So I'm gonna jump right in and I'm gonna introduce the guest, and then I'm gonna let him have the floor, and then we'll come back and we're gonna discuss the book that we're reading this month, and we're gonna go a little bit over business credit too. All right, so I'm not gonna keep you long, but I'm gonna start just by giving you a brief introduction of what we are before you get your training. All right. So again, wealthy CEOs, my name is Coach Demont. These are just a few of my wealthy CEOs. We just met in Houston, looking at some land. We're going to start flipping houses in Houston, doing investments. So this is O'Neal, Dre, King, Dwayne, Tamika, Dominique, Michelle, Karen, I can't see. Oh Lord. Ashley. and Eden, and I can't see the other one. All right. But that's a few of my CEOs, right? So this is us that we were just in Houston. We looked at a lot of Greg the Builders. Greg is a part of our team. He's building houses in Houston, doing big things. We looked at a lot of his properties. We're all about to start looking for land and flipping. So we don't just do business credit. We don't just learn about passive income. We don't just learn about investing. We learn about how to build wealth properly. This is Ashley Jackson. She's a native of Houston, Texas. She's in my group. This is Dominic and his wife, lovely Michelle. We call her Michelle Obama, but they own the MX Donuts in Houston, Texas, and they're doing some big things. They have a lot of other businesses. They're building business credit with me. They're investing. They're doing a lot of big things. This is O'Neal. He's one of our youngest CEOs. He just got his first Airbnb in Texas that he purchased. He lives in New York. This is Brennan. He owns multiple properties. He's a massive investor. He's doing his thing. I'm very proud of him. Now he's putting himself in the position to leverage business credit. What I love the most about Brennan is that he's now teaching his son everything that he learns along his journey. So he's helping to change the narrative of his son's future. This is Eden. She lives in Dallas. She's a part of the CEO club. She calls us her tribe, but she's a part of the CEO club. I love her energy, and she's doing some great things, building her entity, LLC, and now she's starting to build her investment portfolio. This is Coach Karen, my ace boo coon. She owns property. She has her credit together. She is tier 1 credit. She is building her investment portfolio. And she is going to be one of the people that will be buying property and flipping as well in Texas. All right, this is Chef Tanya. She's in Atlanta. She owns Pretty Plate. She's one of the top caterers in Atlanta. If you go to Atlanta, check her out. She's awesome. As a matter of fact, she goes everywhere and she caters for every celebrity in Atlanta. She knows every single body. So she is one of my CEOs as well. And this is Chef Tamika. Chef Tamika from Sincere Catering. She's one of the top caterers, top chefs in Indianapolis. She also travels around. She has a daycare, school. She has multiple businesses. She's built over $100,000 in business credit. I'm very proud of her. This is King Todd. King Todd is not just one of my mentees, but King Todd is he's also my trainer. He's helping me to get my body together, and I'm helping him to get his wealth together. So we have partnered together as a team. He is a credit guru, and I am looking at him as the manifestation of my future. Maya Angelou said that your legacy is everyone that you touch along the way. So if you didn't see your pictures, because I don't have your picture, but I have hundreds of CEOs in my program. I love each one of you. I'm proud of each one of you. I'm proud of your accomplishments. And I want to thank you if you join, if you invited somebody today. If you didn't make it to Houston, you probably didn't see your picture because most of those pictures were from Houston. All right, so I want to tell you to just if you're new to this masterclass, have a pen and paper for notes. All right, I give away stuff along the way. I got 10 gifts I got to give away. Eddie, Summer, Luke, Andrea Reed, Latanya Benson, Eric Manigo, Karen Lloyd, Benita Swift, Tashika Sinclair. They were the first 10 people here. I have a special gift that I'm going to be sending you guys. Please text my number, my 310 number. I'll give it at the end if you don't have it. Text me your name. I'm going to make sure that I mail you out a gift. I got a special gift that I want to send you and mail you. All right. So the average life expectancy for a person is 78 years, right? Well, the average person retires at 67, and we are trained to work for 50 years and maybe enjoy 11. Well, in Wealthy CEOs, we want to enjoy most of our life. So we want to really work hard for 11 and enjoy the rest of our life. All right. And that means that we have to allow investments to work for us. So that's why I invited the special guest today, so he can show you how you can build a 6-figure business and pretty much make money in your sleep. All right. The truth is 99% of the people that watch this will not do the work. You're not going to do the work. You're going to say you're going to do the work, but you're not going to do the work because you're average. And I'm sorry to say you're average. And I hope that you're not average, but I've come across thousands of people that say they're going to do something, say they want change, say they want to change their life, say they want better for their kids, say they want better credit, say they want to invest, say they want to be wealthy, but they don't do the work. So I'm praying that you're in the 1%. I'm praying that everybody is 142 people on here right now. I'm praying that you're in the 1% and you take the information that you get today and you allow it to motivate you. You don't just show up and not do anything with the information, whether it's investing, whether it's when you hear us talk about business credit, whether it's you opening up your Amazon store, whether it's you investing in a Facebook store, whatever it is, take the initiative to keep going. But what I love the most about Wealthy CEOs is that my CEOs network amongst each other. So they hold each other accountable. They show up for each other. We have created a community of individuals that are not in competition with each other. We're a community, we're a family, and they work together to help build each other up. So that's what I love the most about this community that you joined today. So if you say, I want to be a millionaire, and my goal is to help 12 people to become millionaires this year. If you say, I want to be a millionaire, well, this is the breakdown. You got to make, your portfolio has to make $27.39 a day. I tell King every day after we leave the gym, I'm like, bro, I got to make $2,700 a day. That's my goal every day, to make $2,700. That may not be from one business. That may be from my stock portfolio. That may be from my index account. That may be from my credit business. That may be from my coaching business. That may be from my Amazon store. That may be from multiple different businesses. But I got to make $27.39 a day because I got to hit $1 million this year. All right, which I'll hit way more than $1 million. But that if your goal is $1 million, that should be your goal. So you know, if I'm on Instagram or I'm on Facebook or I'm on watching Netflix, then I'm taking from this time and I need to do more. All right. 65% of the millionaires have at least 3 sources of income. So if you only have one source of income, if that's your job, if that's a business that's not really producing a lot of money, you should not be living off of the income of your business. You need to be on a salary from your business. You need to live off of your investments. All right. That's how you're going to become a millionaire and build wealth. Between 2020 and 2025, global wealth is projected to rise 39%. So there is no reason why you can't be the first millionaire in your family, or the second or the third. I don't know your situation. 5.2 million new millionaires appeared in the world in 2020. That's when the pandemic hit. The pandemic created more millionaires than ever in history in 1 year. So now we're in a pandemic. We're still going through, people still offering their jobs. People are still doing still trying to figure things out. We're creating millionaires in a pandemic. You got the opportunity to do that too. So my goal for you, if you never meet me again, if you never show up to any one of my master classes, if you never hear anything about Coach Demont, get at least a 750 credit score. Put this on your goals. Build at least $100,000 in available credit, all right, in personal credit, not debt, but available credit, and build $1.4 million in business credit. Everybody in my program is on a track to do that, all right? Personal credit, 100,000, business credit, 1.4. Well, how do you do it, Coach Demont? Well, you live off of the rewards of credit. You have to use credit to go to build. You have to use the relationships from banks to go to the next level, right? All right, I had to put that person on mute. All right, so you use business credit. This is everybody's formula in Wealthy CEOs. They have holdings companies, they have trusts, they have parent companies, they're building their nonprofits, and every other company that they invest in and do, underneath that, that's where it goes, in those empty boxes. So their parent company owns everything that comes after that. So say, for instance, today, after you hear from our guest Cyan, and you say, I want to start my drop shipping business, you would put it in one of those blank boxes under your parent company. So your parent company would own your drop shipping company, along with any other investments or real estate or anything you build in your portfolio. I want you to leave with something today, okay? All right, so everybody in Wealthy CEOs, all of my 12 millionaires, are all building 7 entities. That includes vendor credit, store credit, fleet credit, revolving credit. I help them build all of those things. So say, for instance, you build $200,000 per entity. You could take that invested in, whether it be the Airbnb business, the Amazon drop shipping business. You could build your portfolio with the bank's money, $1.4 million. All right, we're going to open up an office in Houston called Legacy Credit. I just did a partnership with a bank in New York. They're giving $180,000 per entity. So that's on top of what you already got here. All right. So you can build $1.2 million in business credit just with that. All right. So that's $2.6 million. So that's your goal should be to have a trust fund, to have holdings company, to have a parent company, to have at least 3 sister companies, and to have a nonprofit. All right, that's a lot of different things. If you're in my program, you'll understand that. Plan. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So you should have a plan for every area of life. If you don't know what your goals are this year, you need a wealth plan. You need a financial plan, which is a budget. You need a health plan. You need a mental health plan. You need a retirement plan. You need a legacy plan. What's going to happen after you go? Are you just going to be another name? Will they know your name in 3 generations? You need a life plan. You need a child wealth plan. How is your child going to be a millionaire by the time they're 18 or 21 or 25 or 35? You need to plan that for them. All right. So as I move on, Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you're going to work until you die. And that's why I wanted Cyan to come and teach you and show you how you can open up your own Amazon store. I do 99% of my shopping. I grocery shop on Amazon. I buy athletic gear on Amazon. I buy stuff for all my houses and Airbnbs for Amazon. I buy cleaning products for my cars on Amazon. I buy gifts on Amazon. I buy all my books on Amazon. I buy everything on Amazon. All right. So billionaires invest millions to become billionaires. Millionaires invest thousands to become millionaires. And broke people don't want to invest nothing to become rich. So it takes money and investing, whether it's time, whether it's energy, whether it's credit, whatever it is, it takes money to become rich. All right. So drop shipping. I'm going to break that down. Cyan's ready to come in. But JCPenney closed 138 stores. Abercrombie and Fitch, they closed 60 stores. Sears, 150 stores. Macy's, 65 stores. Staples, 70 stores. American Apparel, 160 stores. GameStop, 180 stores. While Amazon is still growing and opening more stores. Look at this. Over 1 million Americans have opened up an Amazon store that allows them to sell directly to customers. Amazon reports 140,000 people have earned at least $100,000 per year, while 40,000 people earned $1 million a year. All right. So you got stores closing, but Amazon is scaling. So this is something that you got to listen to. This, when he's speaking, you got to listen to it. You got to take notes. You got to have an open mind, and you got to figure out how you can create more streams of income so that you can expand your net worth. All right. So as I introduce him, he's he lives in Miami, but he was born in New Jersey. His name is Cyan. He grew up in the auto dealership industry. He went to Georgetown University, and then he became an options trader at Goldman & Sachs in the investment firm. Many of you that have the Apple cards, that's from Goldman & Sachs. All right. He got into real estate. He's flipped over 400 houses since 2009. He has a large multifamily portfolio, and he 3 years ago he started the e-commerce Amazon business. I trusted him with my business. I have a friend, Brittany, the one that introduced me to Cyan. She has trusted him with her business, and many other people have trusted them with their business. So when people tell me, oh, well, yeah, somebody was selling it, they do that, or I seen online where somebody does it, and all that, you have to get into business, as my uncle used to say, you got to get into bed with people you trust. And I trust Cyan. I've met with him, and he has shown me this. I have trusted him, and I wanted to introduce this to my CEOs, not just my CEOs, but I said, you know what? I'm gonna open this up to everybody because I want to give everybody the opportunity to understand what they need to do. Me, I plan to give my store to my son. So once I get into 6 figures, I'm gonna give it to my son. He loves shoes, he loves apparel, he loves all that. And I'm gonna give it to him. He's a student at, I don't know if he's on here. I invited him, so I hope he is. But he's a student at Grambling University in Louisiana. But I want to be able to give this to him so that he can have income coming in while he's in school. I know I talked to Tamika earlier. She said, I'm gonna create one for each one of my kids so that they have it, and I want it to be connected to their interests. So I just want Cyan to now introduce yourself. Thank you for taking the time to do this, man. Thank you I feel like every coach needs a coach, and you're my coach in this area. because I didn't know the first thing about how to open up an Amazon store and to build it to 6 figures. So I appreciate you for taking the time to do this. For I call all these people, I call them my millionaires, because I see millions in their life. Whether they're millionaires or not, I know they're gonna be millionaires if they apply themselves. So I appreciate you. I know Jonah is here, so you can introduce Jonah. So I appreciate your team for taking the time out to join us on this Thursday night.
Yes, thank you so much for that great intro, Demont. You got to get me one of those hats too, that CEO hat. I want one of those. So send me one of those after we get off this call.
I got you.
Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate being here. I'm here on with my partner, Jonah, as well. So you guys will hear from him in a little bit as well. He pretty much summed up our background. So started off in selling cars, went into finances, did real estate, did very well in real estate. And a couple of years ago, we saw the market moving to e-commerce. So I'm sure many of you would agree that e-commerce and selling things online is the future, kind of what Demont alluded to. Sales are going online, even groceries are going online. So, we want to be part of that growth. And that's where a couple of years ago, we said, let's get started in Amazon, and it just took off and did very well. So I guess before we get started, I just kind of want to get a feel. How many of you guys like passive income? If you like passive income, put your hand in the air so I can see it. All right, awesome. So you guys like making money while you're sleeping. That's exactly what we do for you, right? We build, manage, and scale Amazon dropshipping stores, as well as a few other platforms, which I'll mention later on, for our clients. The store is 100% yours. So we build the store in your name. It's your name. It's an asset that we build for you. We just do all the work for you. So you can sit back and do the things that you like being with family, taking trips, being on the beach. It's nice getting an email from us and say, oh, wow, I made 4K last month. All right. That's a great, great feeling. So I want all of you guys to have that opportunity. And we're going to talk about how you can get involved in that today. So we scale, build, manage from opening up the LLC if you don't already have that. I heard him mention that you guys are opening up LLCs already. We will apply for the platform, get you sales tax exempt, so you don't have to pay sales tax when you buy things. We will build a website for you, get you approved on the platform, and then start doing product research, finding things that are selling very hot, and start listening for you, and then start fulfilling orders, even replying to customers. You literally do not have to do anything. You can log in if you want to, or just look at the deposits in your bank account. So that's exactly what we do. And just in a matter of just a few months, we take your store from making $0 to making $3,000 to $6,000 in passive income very, very quickly. And then we continue to scale from there. We have done this multiple times, and we're confident we can do it for your store as well. The key, I can't stress the great words that Demont said earlier. The key is having business credit, right? The more credit you have available, the more we can fulfill orders. So what does that mean? All right. Most of the sales that we do is something called drop shipping. If you guys haven't heard that term before, it's essentially we list things and then we buy it only after it's already sold and ship it directly to the customer. So you don't have to tie up a lot of money in inventory. Another portion of the sales is something called FBA, or fulfilled by Amazon. We buy some product, send it to Amazon, and it sits in Amazon's warehouse. If you've ever gone to Amazon and searched for something, you see something that says Prime Shipping on there, that is FBA. That means it's sitting in one of their warehouses and they can get it to you right away. So all your sales will come from both of those ways of selling. It'll be a combination of both, but the majority will be through drop shipping. So we can take your store from $500 in profit, $2,000 in profit, earning double-digit returns on your money spent every single month over month. Now, it does take some time in the beginning to build out your store. I'm going to show you guys a couple examples. Jonah will share his screen and show you guys a couple examples of some stores that we've built out only in the past few months. Both these stores were started in August, September, October timeframe, and you'll see how quickly we're able to scale those stores to making multiple $1,000s a month in passive income profit. So what we do when we build your stores, we look and we do product research. We go on Amazon, we have metrics, we have software. We look and see what's some of the hottest selling items selling right now. It could be as simple as something like a case of Perrier water, or a case of Kleenex tissues. So we look and see what's selling very hot. Then we will go ahead and see if we can source it for cheaper than it's selling on Amazon. And if we can, we have a business. We can sell those items. We can buy it and ship it directly to the customer, make 10, 12, 15, 20% on every sale that goes through. We typically, we charge for our services, of course, but Damon's got the hookup, and we're giving you guys a discount for our services, and we'll go into more detail on pricing in a few minutes. So we are your partner in this. All right, we are motivated to see you guys make money because we make money as you guys make money. So we're both have inline motivation. We will take care of everything for you, where literally all you have to do is have a credit line and just make sure that you pay your credit cards when you get paid by Amazon. And as I mentioned, we're building a business for you. So this is an asset. You can sell this business. We'll show you guys a few websites where people are marketing Amazon stores for sale for 2 to 3 times what the store makes on an annual basis. So if your store makes, just call it 100K, that asset or that store is worth $300,000, and you can go sell that in the open market if you decide you want to get out of it down the line. So it's a tool in your arsenal to build your future and to build your wealth. Any questions from what I said now before we go to the next steps? Anyone have any questions? I think it's.
Feel free to write your questions in the chat as well, and we can answer them as we go.
That's my partner, Jonah. You guys now see him as well. Everyone say hi, Jonah. Jonah, can you pull up a couple of stores and share your screen and show them a few stores that we've built out in the past few months?
Sure, absolutely.
Want me to show the presentation?
Sure, yeah.
All right, awesome. So hello, everyone. I heard someone say I had a question, so I will get to that in 1 second. Again, my name is Jonah. I'm Siam's partner in crime here. Born and raised in New York City, in the boogie down Bronx. Shout out to the Bronx. My background is in education, deeply enriched in real estate. So I'm still active in real estate these days. And so taking it back 1 step before I jump forward, I got into this, especially again, I was initially an educator. I taught middle school, elementary school, and then I have a background in real estate, both as an agent and as an investor, which I primarily do now. The reason I like this is because it is passive income. Our slogan, our motto is passive income for life, right? You heard the standard motto, you put your money in the bank, you earn what? 0.01% per year, right? Some people put their money, in a money market, for example, let's say the 401k, and they're making, 8-9% per year, which is industry standard. It's pretty decent. Some people, like I still do, when I have investors who put their money in real estate, which is considered one of the best ways to earn, income, they're making approximately, let's call it an average 15% per year, right? If I do a deal and then someone wants to lend on that deal, and they'll make, 10 to 15% per year, which is considered very good. The reason I love this business is because, I'm gonna blow your mind, we're making 10 to 25% per month, every single month for our clients. So it's truly a passive income generating machine, because like Siam was saying, everyone and their mother shops on Amazon, right? E-commerce is the next wave. It is not going anywhere. So what we do is we take any product, I can talk about a keychain, anything from large appliances to small products, whether it's drop shipping or FBA, like Siam said, we're taking those products, we're sourcing them, listing them on the Amazon store, and we're selling hundreds of products a day. So if I sell a keychain, I might make $2 on it, but I'm doing it 100 times a day with hundreds of products. So you imagine how that money just flows through. And for you as potential clients, what you're doing is sitting back and collecting. All you guys have to do is really fund the through a credit card, which we'll talk about, the purchases which get paid back. So it's an investment up front, but you're making this passive income each month. And as opposed to real estate, you're making your money back in a very relatively quick amount of time, and then it's infinite profit from the rest, from infinitely. Okay, so let me just, before I hop into some specific stores, if I can share I will show you a 2-minute presentation that we just put together for this, so you guys get an idea of the overall picture. Can you see my screen? Thumbs up. Yes, perfect. Thank you, Karen, for showing me your thumb. All right, perfect. So, whoops. All right, so this is just a quick overview of sort of the picture of what we do, right? So I'm just gonna glide through this. So again, our company is Ecom Wealth Partners. What we do is an automated e-commerce service for passive cash flow. It's passive income. Let's see if I can move away. The overall thing, right? E-commerce, we know, is a growing industry. It's not going anywhere. So average ROI is 12 to 25% a month, okay? And the way Amazon does it, as Siam says, we create a store for you. It's in your name. The bank account, the money goes directly towards your bank account, and Amazon pays out every 2 weeks, okay? Products are only sold after products are only bought after they are already sold. So that's the example of drop shipping, where let's say someone wants to buy, let's call a grill, for example. Okay, so we have relationships with many wholesalers. We'll source a grill, let's say from Walmart. We'll source it for $100. We'll list it on our Amazon store, on your Amazon store, for let's say $150, right? But we don't actually buy the grill in this drop shipping example. As soon as someone purchases it, we say, ding, we just got a purchase for $150. Then and only then do we pay the $100 to our wholesaler, and then they ship it directly to the customer. That's what drop shipping is, and we're making that right there every single time. So it's a really amazing model. Honestly, it's kind of like a life. That's why I get so excited about it. And if I'm speaking too quickly, forgive me, because I've been known to do that. Okay, so the store is built specifically for you. The bottom of this says become cash flow positive within 60 to 90 days. So there is the build-up phase, which I call the incubation. So once we get your store going, 90 days, we're listing products starting. At about month 3, that's when you're starting the cash flow each month. That's going to start to pay down your initial investment. Once that's paid down, it gets infinite, pure profit per month. Okay. In a nutshell, as Cyan mentioned, we set up the store initially. So we literally form your LLC. Your only job is to think of kind of what name you want. So, in Karen's case, Karen might say Karen's Goods LLC. So we'll create her LLC. We'll apply it to the IRS for the EIN number. Okay. We'll actually create a website. We create a professional website for every client. We do the product research, we apply for the Amazon platform. So we actually go through the process of applying. It literally is hands-free. It's passive. You're not really doing pretty much anything. From there, we start to order the inventory. We order pricing, confirm shipments, tracking. We handle everything from your store. Like Siam said, for each store, we hire approximately 5 people per store. So one person's full-time job per store is to do all of that order fulfillment. They're doing the product research, making sure that the products that we list on your store are meeting those profit margins, which is a minimum of 10 to 15% profit per item. And that's how you show we do a lot of research. Another person's doing order fulfillment. Another person's doing customer satisfaction, returns, etc. So we literally handle everything from you. We also, by the way, get you tax exempt in all 50 states. Okay. So at launch. So it takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get your store set up. Like I said, we get all the stuff going, whether it's the LLC, website, creating the website, all that stuff. Benefits, okay, so it is a passive business. You are the owner. You have complete access control to your store, and we'll show you how you can sell your store, which, by the way, none of our clients have done so because they're very happy to have many clients, and everyone wants to keep their store, although the option is there to sell it, because that shows it's truly your store, okay? Amazon pays directly to your account. It goes directly to your account every 2 weeks. We really only make money if you make money first. So we'll talk about we have a profit split design, and it shows that we are true partners because we don't make money until you make money and you hit profitability, okay? So we only do accept, a certain amount of stores per month because we want to give our attention and our time. Talk about that. The only thing we do recommend, we have a minimum of $10,000 to $15,000 in credit limits, and we'll talk about how you can get that if you don't. But whether you have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and we can show you how to increase your credit. And that's really only to fund the purchases throughout the months. And so let's say in the example of, and Sam can talk about the numbers, but in the example of, you spend, let's say, you have a credit card limit of $20,000, okay? Amazon pays out every 2 weeks. In that example, you have the capability of doing $40,000 in sales that month. So your card will get charged $20,000. It gets paid right back the same month. So it actually helps your credit. And by the way, I think Siam will tell you about the cherry on the cake at the end about how it helps your credit. And then you could do another $20,000 and pay that back. So these are true numbers. These are actually a few months old, and it's even better now. So in this store, and everyone will have an Amazon app. You can set all these are and I'm gonna jump in and show you a real live store, okay? And then Sam can kind of talk about the details. Okay.
So while Joan is pulling up the stores, I wanted to see if anyone, we have some questions down here. We have an LLC, an EIN for my store. I travel on your own. Would you create another LLC? We can still use your LLC and incorporate that. So to answer your question. Someone else asked a question, are your clients competing against one another? The answer to that question is completely no. Every store has unique products. We hire a separate team to do the work for each store. Each store has a team of 3 to 6 people, depending on where in the growth of the store that store is, and everyone's store is independent. So there's no duplicates between stores. There's over 100 million products on Amazon's website, so there's no shortage of products to sell. And you know, we don't want our clients to be competing against each other, because that just hurts their ability to scale. We want you to scale as much as possible.
I have a question.
Sure.
2 questions actually. One is, does the tax portion have anything? Do we have to have an LLC that's a nonprofit to do that, or is there a different method?
Nope. It can be an LLC, S corp, whatever you decide to have, whatever your accountant or you would like. So there's no. And then what we'll do is we'll get what's called a resale certificate or a sales permit in every state, so that you don't have to pay tax when you buy something. Only the end buyer pays tax, because they keep the product. You're just a reseller of products. So we'll go. We have our accountants apply for that on your behalf.
And the second question was, I know on a lot of platforms, in order for you to be visible, you have to be some type of, like on Turo or on Airbnb, you have to be like super host or something like that.
Mhm.
Does that affect your visibility in this space as well, or does it not matter?
So yes, the amount of reviews you have does affect your visibility. But what we do is we tweak the listings and optimize the listing in an attempt to win what's called the buy box. The buy box is whoever Amazon decides to go first, right? When someone searches something. So what we're doing is we're altering price point, we're altering shipping times, we're altering photos, we're tweaking the listing to try to get an optimal listing. And we may have to sell a little cheaper at first. That's why we say 1 to 2 months to build up your store, and we'll get reviews in that time frame. So now we can start winning the buy box. Does that answer your question?
Got you. Thank you very much.
So we have a few more questions, and then I'll hand it over to Jonah. I see, which method is making more money right now, dropshipping or FBA? SBA, FBA with an F, like Frank. So FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. Both are very, very lucrative. You can make great double-digit returns on both of them. However, we incorporate both into every store, because FBA is Amazon's preferred way of selling. They make more money because they have it in their warehouse, right? And they control the shipping and things like that. So that's their preferred way of selling. So we do what Amazon wants to make them happy. And then drop shipping allows you to scale higher with less money invested, because you don't have to buy those products up front. So we incorporate both into every store. But on both options, you'll be making double-digit returns. And then how do you guys get, no problem, my pleasure. How do you guys get paid? We run on a profit split with you guys, and we'll break over that after we finish the presentation. Yes, if you have a product, we can sell it on the store. All right, Joni, you want to take it away? You want to share your screen?
Sure. I think Damon has a question as I set that up. Damon, go for it.
Yeah, what about alcohol products?
I'm sorry? What did you say?
Are you able to sell alcohol products on there?
So anything like alcohol, weapons, we need to get approved by Amazon to be able to sell those and show that we have whatever licenses and stuff you need to be able to sell those. So if we can show proof of that, then we can get approved to sell that on the platform. It's a little bit more lengthy of a process, but it's a possibility if you have licenses and stuff in your other businesses.
Yes. Where do I sign up?
We'll talk about it towards the end. The mom will give you more information. Go ahead, Jonah.
All right, great. So I'm going to simply and quickly show you a real life example. So this is the back end. If you were to start a store, you can see this. This is how you would log into your Amazon site, as well as there's an Amazon app. It's called Amazon Seller Central. You'll have your app, which you can view, and you can check out your sales each day. So that's one of the sort of the most fun things that our clients like to do. They just scroll through their phone. Oh, wow, I had 500 sales today. I made X amount of dollars. So what I'm going to do today, this is products, and we got permission from this client. It's called Grimaldi products. And so this is an example of what you can look. We see we have today. He made $920 so far. If I just click this to give you an idea, his total balance, as you can see, is $23,000. And this account is relatively new. This account has only been open for approximately 3 to 4 months. So let's just check what are some we have. Just see what
You're
his
breaking up really bad.
So guys, at $920 in sales today, and there's still a few more hours to do sales, this guy's averaging over 20% returns. Let's just say 25%, which is where he seems to average. We're talking about 250 bucks. How many of you guys can use an extra $250 in income passively while we do everything for you? What would you do with those $250? Right? What if we can make that $300 or $400 or $500, which is what we'll build these stores to in a relatively quick time? It's an amazing business, guys. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity.
So this is just what he made today. I'm going to show. Let's do a custom. Let's do last month's sales, I guess you can start. Or just do January. So January 1st to January 31st. Let's see. Sorry, I was unmuted. Let me unmute myself. So I'm going to show you January sales. Okay, let's that customer what he's made in that month of January, last month. Okay, so you can see that he's actually 46,000 sales that last month, literally, and his account's been open for, I believe, 4 months. I can actually check lifetime, which is probably very similar because remember the first few months we're limited as we grow. Actually, year to date, I'll do custom and I will set it up. Let's go back to August. So I'll go from August 1st to, we can go January 3rd. We'll go to today. Okay, so today's the 3rd. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so you can see, actually, if you look at the graph below, maybe Simon, you want to talk about.
So if we drew a line on the sales, you would see a very nice increase in sales. You look at this store started selling in November. November, he did some numbers, right? Then December did a little better. January did phenomenal, and it's going to keep growing from here, right? So you can see the ramp up period where the store did a little slower in the beginning, like we talked about, as we're building up, trying to win the buy box. And then you can see these sales how it spiked. So it's a very nice half a U, if I had to describe the shape of these sales. So since the store started, it's done about $92,000 in sales in just a few months at an over 25% margin, actually closer to 30% margin in this particular store. So in those scenarios, he's made over $30,000 in the past few months. And we haven't even hit year one. So this is how every single store gets scaled that we have. Jonah's going to log out of this store and also go to what did he do to have that increase? It's just over time. It's building. We add more listings to the site. We perfect the listings. We tweak the listings, and eventually, at one point in time, after we make all these changes and start getting reviews, Amazon says, "We like how you're performing," and boom, they give you the buy box. So it means you come up first when people search. And that's when it's all gravy from that point. So what we're going to do to keep growing his store is find more products that are selling very well so the store can continue to scale higher.
Absolutely. And for our clients, again, this is a passive income stream. Okay. This is what we're about. We're about passive income. So you're sitting, working your job or doing whatever you do, love to enjoy. We have your 5, it's echoing over here. Your 5 teammates working for you on your store, and they're constantly day in, day out working to get the better products and get these sales for you. We're again, hundreds of sales per day. It's going to continue to increase. And for each store, it also comes with, we have a detailed profit sheet. We have a full system. So my computer is not as slow. I'm going to show you this profit sheet right now. So this was sort of, I guess, December for this all the products. So we literally track everything. And this will be at your disposal every month. You'll have you can see what your profit is. And at the end of the year, that's your account and boom. And then you have for your taxes right there. So you can see he made basically 53% profit margin in the month of December. If you see my mouse over here, which I don't think you can, in column P, he did $9,000 in net profit that month. Okay. So he's taken in, you see, we have COG in column J is called, they have the price plus a shipping, gross profit, and of course takes their fee, right? It's their platform, so they're the kings of the situation, so they always get their cut. So if there's any refunds, and you can see right here. So you can see these are all the products. Everything is sort of detailed and organized.
So just so you guys understand, the red line items are refunds. When someone requests a refund on Amazon, Amazon still keeps their fee. So that's why you see those numbers. So the goal is to be average positive, which is 9,000 plus positive in this store for the month of December. after only a few months of being in the business.
This is another
store that I just pull this on a random tab right now. This is Mustafa Enterprise LLC. He's only been in operation for about a month and a half to 2 months, and you can see right here his net profit was 3,400 right there. I'm just going to pull up another, let's see, account right here, Royal Ventures. And again, the store comes with a profit sheet. So let's see what this one looks like. This is slightly more mature right here. The net profit is $10,000 in this month. So this is the month of December. Okay, DS is drop shipping. We also have a wholesale tab, which we also track. That's FBA, and we track that in a slightly different way. And this month again, $10,728. So it was a huge profit margin. And this is not uncommon. Every single month, month over month, we're generating profits like this. Sam, you can let me know if you want me to pull up another store. I'll be happy to do so. I'm going to stop sharing.
Yeah, no problem. So we just had a question: how do we protect you from gated products? Gated products can't be listed. So when we're doing product research, and we have to apply on Amazon to sell different products. And if it's gated, they won't allow us to go in. Once we start getting great reviews, then more items get ungated, which allow us to list more products down the line. Gated just means it's restricted. And for those of you who don't know. How do you file taxes on the business? So it's a retail business. So we will provide you a profit sheet every month, and you'll have 12 months of profit sheet as well as the sales reports and the 1099 from Amazon. And so between those two, you can hand those to your accountant and they can file the taxes. We handle the sales tax reporting on a monthly basis. So our accountant actually files these sales tax reports with all 50 states on your behalf. So you don't have to do that, and make sure that all states get their sales tax. So Jonah, why don't you show them Flipa and so they can see how they can exit the business if they decide to down the line. Most people don't want to do it because if you have passive income, I'm all about passive income for life, right? And most people want to keep it for as long as possible, but there are things that happen in people's lives where they need to exit the business or get cash for whatever that comes up in life, and you can sell this for a 2 to 3 multiple of what the annual profit is.
So yeah,
Flipa Sure Sam is this just a website. I just pulled it up now. I think I'd already typed in Amazon as a keyword. So again, this is a website where you can sell your business. And again, none of our customers have done so, but if you say, okay. Yes. Okay. So you can try to find the Amazon FBA. So in the store, they're selling it for $90,500 in profit per month, which our stores are actually doing a lot more than that. So she's trying to sell it for a 2.9x multiple for her store. It's called Magic Touches. Let's see what else other Amazon stores. Another one is per $4,000, $2,400. FBA drop shipping. This person's starting to sell it for $950,000 because it's doing 20K in sales, which is something we can easily do. Let's step on top. Might get some more specific polls here. If you right income that generates month over month and actually business because it's an income producing asset, really.
All right, yeah, so that's how it works. So now let's talk about the money, right? I think I see a couple of times where people are asking about, what does this cost and how does it work? So we typically charge other people $35,000 to set this up. We're not doing that for you guys. We could charge $45,000. There's people charging $45,000. We worked a deal with all of Wealth Cartel's people, all Demond's people, where we're charging $25,000 to set this up. We can finance that as well. It's not all up front, so we can discuss that and show you the breakdown. And then we operate on a profit split on a monthly basis. So we're doing 65% profit split, and then once you get your money back, we go to 50-50. So we want you to get your money back. We don't make very much money on the upfront fee, and on the 35%, we don't make very much either. So once you get your money back and go to 50-50, that's when we start cash flowing, because as I mentioned, we hire a whole team out. build a website, get you existing, get you do product research, get you tax exempt, getting accountants involved, getting the LLC going. So there's a lot of upfront work that is involved in it. And only after a few months after you've been in the business do we start cash flowing with you. So our motivations are aligned. All right. So if you guys have any questions with that or want to schedule one-on-one calls, we can, Damon can set that up. We'd love to bring as many of you guys on as we can and make you guys money while you sleep. I'm all about passive income for life. That's my motto, right? As Damon said, I did real estate. We did real estate for many years. We flipped and purchased hundreds of homes. We went into multifamily space. We own over 200 apartments now that we rent and keep. But our favorite investment to date is e-commerce and opening these stores. Now, Amazon is one platform. More recently, we started also selling Facebook marketplace dropshipping stores where we can sell on Facebook. And we can also we do Walmart as well and Shopify, where you sell directly to customers on Shopify. So we have multiple options for you guys. And, we'd love to talk to you guys and discuss your investment needs. The recommendation, I see some questions. I'll answer a couple questions and then we'll bring it back to Demont. So I see, what if we build the LLC, the credit line before we buy? Yeah, absolutely. That's great. We can discuss specific details with you. How long does it take to set up? It takes 3 to 4 weeks to get the account active and get the LLC website going and get you approved by Amazon. And then it takes about 2 months to build everything out and start getting reviews in your store. So by month 3, we would expect to start really scaling the store. Let's say if you're buying one already you can buy one already making profit, and that reduces some of the time frame to start making profit on the store. However, you're going to pay a premium for that. You see, you're paying about 3 times the annual profit for the store. Store name not necessarily be attached to a related business. Yeah, there's no need to have your store associated with any other business. Make it unique, make it fun. It's a different kind of business than real estate or cars, whatever you might be doing. And then lastly, let's see. With the credit, we recommend a minimum of $20,000 so we can scale and make you some nice profits. But we've worked with people with less, but the recommendation is at least a minimum of 20. And Demont can help you get even more than that. So, his program is awesome, and he can definitely help you guys get business credit. And a buyout after a certain amount of time, or lifetime partners. So we have a 1-year agreement. If you decide you want to take the store on yourself after a year, you're more than welcome to. Most of our clients decide to stay on. There's no renewal fee or anything like that, but most of our clients decide to stay on because they want to do this passively. There's a lot of work that's involved in the back end, and they let us keep making profits from them month in, month out. Platforms. The other platforms are different prices. So
he's being humble. None of our clients, all of our clients have decided to stay with us.
Yeah, everyone's a different price. Facebook's a little bit cheaper. So if you're interested, we can get on a call, a Zoom or a phone call and discuss the details of each single one. The original investment, we're offering $25,000 to start, and we ask you to have a credit line to be able to fulfill orders. And remember, all the money gets deposited into your account, and then you will pay us our profit split so you're in control of all the money. The store is yours, it's in your name. Let's see, and then there's no other fee, no. Any other questions with that before we hand it back to Demont?
Line is the credit revolving lines of credit and business lines of credit?
It can be business or personal. We recommend business. Obviously, it's always great to keep it in your business, but we have clients that start off with personal, and then after a few months of selling and having bank statements, they go to Amex or something and start getting business lines. But Demont's an expert in that, and he'll make sure he'll hold your hand along that whole business credit process.
Thank you.
Just initial 25K, not annually. Any other questions?
Thank you, fellas.
No problem.
And Siam, I think you forgot to tell them a quick icing on the cake, like I mentioned. So this actually helps build your credit because you're spending your credit and paying it back within the same month. The icing on the cake is if you like to travel or go to hotels, you're going to get a massive amount of points that you can pretty much travel for free for the rest of your life. Like it's crazy. That's a cherry on top by doing this. I just wanted to share that as well.
Or you get a card that gives you cash back, 1-2% of everything you spend, and that's just icing on the cake. That's extra profits you see that we never even have any part of. So there's a lot of added benefit to this business. You guys, this will help you for years to come. It's going to help you earn the time to spend the time with the loved ones and the people that you guys like to be around, right? If you want to travel, this will allow you to be more flexible in traveling. If you want to, spend time with your kids, grandkids, whatever that may be, this frees up time for you to do that. Because if you can make an extra $5,000 a month, you see that some stores are doing more than that. But let's say if we can make an extra $5,000 a month, I want you guys to take a second and really think about it. What could I do with that extra $5,000 a month? Will this change my life? All right. How will my time be affected? The most important asset we all have in life, guys, is time, right? So cherish it and let us help you get your time back. All right, with that, that's one more question and then I'll hand it down. So it's a 50-50 split after you get your money back. So we're essentially partners in the business and we're motivated like you guys to cash flow for as long as possible. All right, so Demont, take it from here. Thank you for your time, everybody. We really appreciate it. We look forward to working with as many of you guys as possible, and let's all make some money together, man. Passive income for life, baby.
All right, so I want to thank you, Cyan and Jonah, for taking your time out. I've never been so excited about a business. I'm excited because I don't have to do anything. So I want to thank you guys. If you got to hang up, I understand. We're gonna talk about a few other things. Those of you that are interested, text my number to 310-564-7309. I just want you to text money in my sleep. So if you text me money in my sleep, I'm gonna set you up with a meeting with Cyan and his team, get you started, make sure you get the pricing. If you don't have all the money or you need to make arrangements or finance or whatever, let's figure it out. If you need, I got those of you that have good credit, I got some ways that, some things that you can apply for to get your line, because you need an ongoing line because you have to buy product. So Jonah was just talking about rewards points. Well, I travel for free. All right. I have American Express Platinum. I have over 17 million points. I could travel around this earth 25 times if I wanted to and wouldn't pay a dime. When my Amazon store really gets to its height, I'm gonna have probably 100 million points. Because I'm gonna put everything on my American Express. They pay twice a month. I'm gonna pay it off, then I'm gonna charge more. I don't have a limit, so I'm gonna be able to travel, pay my bills. So yeah, I'll be making passive income, but I also will be building a bigger relationship with American Express, and I'll be getting more travel points and rewards points. So I want you guys to think like that. But it's a business that I have partners that are adequate. I have partners that are in the business, and I have partners where I do not have to micromanage or control anything. That's the only way I was gonna start another business, because I got too much stuff going on. I can't log in and be trying to figure out and be trying to deal with virtual assistants and none of that. All right. If how long does it take for the average business to turn a profit? Can one of my entrepreneurs tell me that?
2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years, average business. He just told you guys that they got people turning profits in 3 to 6 months. So if you're able to invest in a business that's able to give you passive income infinitely, so if you keep it 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you're gonna be getting money off of Amazon. And as e-commerce expands, you have a team that's qualified to help you expand. Whether it's Facebook, whether Instagram starts selling, whatever the case may be, you're in the space. My last question is, how much time does it, those of you that have businesses that are producing a profit, how much time have you invested in those businesses?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Many hours, right? Days and nights away. Sometimes you miss things because you had to work. Sometimes you miss family functions because you had to work. So imagine having a business and you don't have to do anything, like I just keep saying. All right. So, and it adds to the reason why I wanted to do this was because in building millionaires this year, this adds to their net worth. So I'm able to help people add to their net worth without actually having to do a lot of more work. Because most people that I'm building, they have businesses. So I can't say, oh, well, we need to start 5 more businesses and we need to do, that's a lot. That's a lot. Running a business, as you guys know, is a lot. So we have to learn how to invest. So those of you that are interested, text me. I got you. We're gonna meet. We'll meet tomorrow and talk tomorrow. I'll get you guys connected with Cyan and his team, and we'll figure out what they'll help you with your product. They'll help you build or maybe I had told Cyan this the other day, is maybe some of you in the group, maybe you don't have all the money. Maybe you can come together and partner. So you may be able to find a partner amongst the group. One person may have the cash, the other person may have credit. You may be able to come together, or even a family initiative. That's something to consider. All right. So I just want you guys to get in this space. I want you guys to start building passive income. And I want you, like I tell my CEOs, I want you to, I told Cyan, I said, I make sure that people fully understand everything before they get it, even if you don't want to do it. Now you understand about drop shipping. Now you understand that if you've got money sitting in the bank and you're not making money passively, then you're not building wealth. All right, you just got money in the bank. All right. So, do I have any questions pertaining to this before we move on to the next thing?
Hey, Damon, can you repeat the number?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I put it in 310-564-7309.
Awesome. Thank you.
I put it in the chat just now.
Cool. And I just want to say one last thing. You know, they said that the expression is time is money, but which is true. However, time is everything. That's why it's all about passive income. One of my clients said today, one of our clients said to me today, he said, look, thank you, Jonah. The reason I'm doing this is to retire my wife because they're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 per month in profit. And then lastly, I just want to say, thank you for having us, Wealth Cartel. Thank you, CEOs. We appreciate you as well. And you guys are in the right place. And we're humble and grateful to be here and to share this opportunity with you guys as well. So thank you again.
Hey, real quick, Cyan, before you go.
Send me a hat.
I want one too, man. I want one too.
Hey, Cyan.
Yes.
Didn't you say something about you can finance the 25K?
Yeah, we have some options for that. So when we get on a call, we can discuss how we can help you out.
I've seen people asking about that, so there y'all go. You can finance it, but you gotta have a 20. You gotta have a line of credit though.
Correct.
But let's if you're interested and you have something and you want to do it, let's put forth the initiative. If I said let's do a McDonald's franchise or a Chick-fil-A franchise and everybody need to come up with $25,000 and we can make $1 million in 10 years, yeah, many of you would figure it out. Whether you had to piece it together, make payments, do whatever you had to do. This is the same thing. It's a franchise. You're buying something that's going to be worth 3 times the amount if you sell it, and something that those of you that plan on doing books, I'm going to do a book, so now I'm able to throw my book in my store. Or those of you that have products, or those of you, I know Tanya has her spices that she sells. Tamika's working on her sauces that she's gonna sell. Both of them are working on cookbooks. So those are things that you can put in your store as well as you're building, and you don't have to control it or run it or manage it. It doesn't take out more time. You don't have to try to figure out how can I market it. So to me, this is turnkey, and you have a team that's qualified to help you scale. All right. So I think that's very important. So text me if y'all serious. Don't text me if you're just trying to ask more questions. I'm giving you that opportunity to ask more questions right now. All right. If you're serious, if you're going to do whatever it takes, if you get on the finance plan to pay it off over time, or to find somebody to help you, if you have at least a 700 score and you have good credit, get you American Express Platinum. I will help walk you through the process. That will help you. All right. That will help you. That's a good starting card to help you if you need an open line of credit so that you can pay it off every month. All right. Any other questions before we move on?
Yes. If the product starts to drop or decline in productivity, is there a way to switch the product out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So remember, most of our sales are drop shipping, right? So if we didn't invest in the majority of these products up front, so we list the product, and then we go buy it after somebody purchases it. So if it's not doing anything for us, we delete it, we do some more research and put another product up there because we didn't go out and buy 1,000 of these up front. Right. So if that answers your question. So we can change on a daily basis if we wanted to.
And I just want to add, even with the FBA products on the other side, part of the team that works for each store, they day in, day out, they do the research based on metrics and all these things to find the products that we require them to have minimum 10 to 15% profit margins. So, and to emphasize that none of the FBA products that are listed, because those are the ones we purchase up front, shipped to an Amazon warehouse. That's what Amazon Prime is. It wants 2-day shipping because it's ready in the warehouse, right? So whatever products there, they've always get sold out. The worst case scenario is it might not take the month, but 90% do. So every product will get sold out, and we're constantly adjusting at those products. So just to add that.
I have a question. If somebody adds their own product, do they send it to Amazon for fulfillment, or do they actual fulfillment? And if they do actual fulfillment, would that be considered Amazon Prime?
No, the only way it's Prime if it's sitting in Amazon's warehouse, because Amazon guarantees you'll get it within a certain amount of time. So if someone has their own product that they want to sell on Amazon, our recommendation would be to send it to Amazon's warehouse. Let Amazon deal with the fulfillment, because we're all about trying to make this as passive as possible, right? If you get 1,000 orders for your product in a month, that's you shipping out 1,000 packages. Yeah, that's a great thing because you got the profit, but it's a lot of work on their end. So we want to make it as passive for you as possible.
Cyan, just a question. So when we go on Amazon, most of what's on Amazon is someone's store, right? It's not Amazon. We're not buying from Amazon.
So Amazon has something called Amazon Basics. That's the stuff sold by Amazon. Everything else is sold by third parties like us or like you after you guys join.
How do you determine what products are sold in your store? So since you don't want to have competing sellers, how do you control that so that the products don't compete and that it increases your profit margin?
Yeah, absolutely. We have software that when we list the product, we have our own backend CRM. So we put something on Amazon, we put in our CRM first, and there's something called an ASIN, or it's like a SKU number on Amazon. So we upload that, and it tells if it's already being used by another client. If it is, we'll squash that one and move to the next one. So we try to keep each store in different industries as well. Some might be selling grocery items, others selling furniture, some people selling tools, other people selling pool equipment, right? There's over 100 million products on Amazon, so there's no shortage.
Do you do that regionally as well? Like East Coast versus Midwest? And
not so much regionally, because just because you're on, it might be in New York or Maryland, or you might be in Michigan. Remember, people on Amazon are buying worldwide, right? So just because you're located there doesn't mean you're only selling to people there.
Yeah, I guess I was just trying to determine whether or not your research is done as to what products are sold in certain regions or people in certain regions buying certain things.
We're doing nationwide, and in some stores for clients that request it, we're even doing internationally, Canada, Mexico, things like that. But 90% of the people are doing it nationwide in the US.
So I have a question. What about name brand products like Adidas, Nikes, and things like that?
So we have to get permission from many of the brands to be able to sell their products.
Okay.
So, all right, guys. So we're gonna clock out now. We appreciate everybody's time. We look forward to speaking to all you guys in the near future. And let's all be wealthy, guys. Passive income for life.
Thanks, Cyan. Thanks, Jonah.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I like to hear from you guys. I'm excited because I can start. I started another business that I'm getting money from that I don't have to do nothing. So, but what do you guys? I would like to see, like, collectively, how do you guys feel about it? You can just unmute your phone and talk.
Well, I like the idea of passive income, making money in my sleep. So
how many streams of income does the average millionaire have?
3.
They have 7 streams of income.
10.
3, 7, 10. All of those are good. Those on the is more than one.
Unlimited.
Seven.
I'm going with 7.
I know, Andrea, you started your Amazon store. You was doing it on your own. Did you learn anything today?
Yeah, I learned a lot dealing with what he was speaking of, both of them. It's like I said before, with Jordan, she didn't have issues I had because she's equipped, but I was just trying to figure out how. So for me, it's a lot of hands-on, trying to see how to get the marketing done, and it seems that with the guys here, because the advertisement is very expensive per Facebook, it could get really pricey. But it seems like with what they're offering, they're going to already do that work for you, so your site will.
Yeah, I like it because because you don't have to do anything, but you can also add your own products. So it gives you a presence on Amazon, to where you can sell your own stuff as well and fulfill your own stuff. So I like that, and you don't have to. And I like the fact that there are, they don't tie your money up in a bunch of product. They actually don't get it until the person buys it, and then they're already connected with the wholesalers. So your money's not tied up. So you pretty much know when you sold something that money's coming back to you in 2 weeks. So I like that too.
I would like to see how to talk to them regarding my wine brand. I know that there has to be certain requirements and licensing regarding that, but who I'm going through is actually providing license for me. That's a part of the package that I have to pay.
Yeah.
So I would love to talk to him about that to get Sozo going.
All right. Anybody that wants to set up a meeting with them individually, just let me know. Michelle Harris, what you thinking over there?
I got to get the Amazon store, got to get the land, got to get the new construction.
Welcome on board, Michelle.
I just finished the mall proposal today.
Oh, how'd that go? How'd that go?
It went well. I got them to do a discount for the first 3 months, and it's set to open like August 1st.
Okay.
Okay.
So just a lot, but yeah, I'm just wanting to do it all right now.
We coming out for that.
For sure. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you, y'all.
Congratulations.
Great.
Thank y'all.
Greg the Builder said congratulations.
Thank you, Builder.
Greg the Builder.
What's up? What's up?
We got to get some land. I got just so much that we want to hurry up and do. So yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So if you're not a part of the Wealth Cartel, are you still gonna get the
discount? Yes.
The discount?
Yes.
Okay. And how long does the discount go? Like, how long is it available? So like, if you don't start it, say within like the next month, like if you decide to do it in like 3 months, is that discount still going to be available?
I don't think so. I can't guarantee that. I would like, if you was interested, I would like for you to at least meet with them and put some type of deposit down, and then just start the process. But they just told me they would do it for my people, and then I opened it up to everybody. So I don't think it would last for months. I would say a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, if you heard him, they only take on a certain amount of people per month. Right. So you know that's important too to consider and think about. I know that on another subject, I know that many of you have had $20,000 or $25,000 even during pandemic. So where that is, some of you may know, some of you may not know. But even if you had to pay it off over time and work out something with them, at least now you know you're building something that you're gonna always have some income coming in, and you're able to now start diversifying your portfolio. It's not just coming from one source. We got to think about that moving forward. especially being whether you're in wealth cartel or you're not in wealth cartel. That's diversification is very important. We can't just depend on the job. We can't just depend on one business. We can't just depend on our investment portfolio. Like we got to depend on diversification. So however you need to figure it out, like I said, maybe it's group economics, maybe it's coming together, maybe it's piecing it together. I don't know. But again, I don't know any other place where you can go build a 6-figure business and you don't have to do anything, and you have people that they don't eat unless you eat. And they're experts in that area. Like that's the reason why I love Cyan, and I would invest with him all day long because he's an expert in that area. He's not just trying to get my money and then run. So I wouldn't bring anybody like that to you guys. So that's very important. So to me, you're buying a franchise that you own, that you can sell. And those of you that again, like Michelle, like they have some great products, eventually maybe they can get into selling their products, on Amazon. They can add that to their store from their donut shop or anything else. You never know. To me, the sky's the limit. We start talking about Amazon selling all over the world, and you got somebody doing marketing for you. And you got somebody doing marketing for you. I know P Hill, you working on your book and merch. So we got to think about that moving forward. How can we maximize our time? How can we find strategic partnerships and relationships with people that are qualified in those areas? Because we can't just keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. All right. So
that's insanity.
I don't want you to feel like if you're not a part of Wealth Cartel, that you're not welcome here. You are. Hopefully you will become a part of Wealth Cartel if you want to become a part now, later, whenever. We are a community of individuals. What I love and what I saw displayed in Houston was that there's no envy. There's no competitiveness. There's no malice. There's everyone supporting each other. I saw that in Atlanta as well. Those of you that came to Atlanta. So I rarely see a group of people that can come together and collectively have the same mindset. We all went to Dominic and Michelle's business. We loved it. They welcomed us with open arms. We didn't have to pay for nothing. They hosted us. And what I love about it is that not because they hosted us, but what I love about it is the energy that they gave us when we went. And they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it. So we supported them. They've supported us, and it continues to go on and on and on. So I looked at my life 5 years ago, and I realized that in order to get to the next level, I couldn't be a one-man show no more. I couldn't do it by myself. And I had to, whatever trust issues I had to let go of them because I needed people. And if I wanted to go from $1 million or 5 million to 100 million, if I wanted to go from 100 million to $1 billion, I needed people. If I wanted to leave a legacy, I needed people. So we got to get out of that mindset. Well, I don't trust them. What's their motive? What they doing? What's on the backside? How much they want? So we got to get out of that. Do your research, do your due diligence, just like in going into any business or coming into any partnership, and move on. And if people don't do what they supposed to do, you got contracts and agreements, and you can deal with it in the court of law. Bottom line. So any more questions? We're going to discuss the book that we're reading because go ahead.
What did he say? Did he say that it was 25K up front, or is it 25K through the credit? If we have $25,000 credit,
no, they would like you to have a minimum of 20,000 in credit, and it's a 25K buy-in. So the 25 in credit, you get back in 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks you get paid out from Amazon. The more credit you have, so I know somebody that has $300,000 in credit invested with them. So they make more money because they're able to buy and secure more products. So the more money you have, the more money you're going to make. But he gave you an average of 20,000. You should get back a return of what he said.
Okay, so everything is through. If our credit is good, everything is gonna be through credit. We ain't pulling cash out of our pocket. I got that right?
The initial money is you have to pay them, yes, to set everything up and to do the initial work. So that would not.
Right.
I mean, you could use credit for that, yes, but initially you would have to pay that up front. Everything else that happens, like everything happens that happens after that, you could leverage credit. Yes, I manage an NFL. I coach an NFL player in New York, and he's in it. And the problem was he didn't have enough credit, so he would keep getting stuck because he was trying to, when you're trying to use your debit card and all that, you got limits. So you can only use so much a day, and you got this, and he kept getting restricted. So we had to get him American Express, and now he's able to do $30,000 a month with no problem because he's paying it back every 2 weeks. So potentially, if American Express approves you for $30,000, you pay it back in 2 weeks, then you got it, like you just said. Now you really have $60,000 in product that you can buy a month.
Right, because he was saying like a 60-40, and then once you make your money back, it'll be 50-50. So if you go through credit, then the money that's being made, or the money that he's getting paid, is coming through the sales, or you know what I'm saying? Is it an additional 25 that's coming out of pocket?
Nothing else comes out of pocket. They only get paid for what you make. So when he said you get your money back, he's talking about your initial 25. So once you make your initial 25 back, then they go to 50-50. And then whatever, and that's off of your net. It's not off of your gross, it's off of your net. So after you pay back your credit line, whatever's left over, that's what you split with your partner. That's how you gotta look at it.
Yes, sir. That pressure. I'm fired up. Keep it coming.
That's Patrick Hill, those of you that are joining us.
For real.
Anybody else that want to understand it and that doesn't fully understand it, hopefully everybody does. And again, if it's not something you want to do, I understand. But again, I many of you have told me you want to be millionaires, and we've got to have diversification. I want to welcome Greg the Builder. He is Hey
Greg.
To me, he's the best. He's the best. To me, he's the best in the industry. And
absolutely.
And we just did a partnership with him in Texas. Eventually we'll be moving on to other states. But you should have real estate a part of your portfolio. Real estate, stocks, investment accounts. To me, passive income, this is something that pays you out monthly. So the Amazon store is a good one. So when you're diversifying your portfolio, you got to think of those things, and many of those things, again, you got to find the right partners to help you. So I see my numbers are falling, so y'all getting tired. I just want to go. I want to give Greg an opportunity to introduce himself, and then we go talk about the book a little bit. I'm gonna see who's been on. I know some of you probably hung up because y'all know that I was coming for y'all this week. If y'all didn't do y'all 15 pages. But I want to hear your takeaway from the book, The Compound Effect, because it's very important that we educate ourselves this year. We are scheduled to at least do one book a month. If we do one book a month, we are ahead of the average American that does one book a year. All right, go ahead, Greg.
Coach, before you do that, I got one quick question. So,
Mr. Fraser, you always have the floor. Go ahead.
So he said that Amazon pays out every 2 weeks, but the initial return on investment doesn't start or takes at least 60 to 90 days. Is that correct? That's what I understood when he put those numbers up.
Because the first month, he's told you the 4 weeks was to set up your store. And then the next month is to get things going. So you may not have a lot of sales. So that's why month 3 and month 4 you would start building your store by doing so if you look at those examples of the stores where he told you this person started their store 4 months ago, they made 10,000. So that was 10,000 net.
Right. So you need to be able to, if I'm understanding this correctly, you need to be able to meet your credit obligation in that same time period, correct?
Yeah, but whatever in month one, you're not gonna have a credit obligation because they're building your store. In month two, you may not get a lot of traction, so you might not spend a lot in credit. So really, month three is when you really need to have that credit access available. And what I was talking to him the other day, he said a lot of times people get in this, and then by the time it's time to use the credit, they done maxed it out, so they're not able to scale their store. So yes, you should have, by month three, you should have your credit line available. And remember, your credit line is paid before anything. It's paid
Also,
right back to you.
I think he
Right.
was also missing the fact that you're only using credit for stuff that has already been sold. So you're not floating any money.
Right. Oh.
Okay, so I guess then the other thing would be to talk about the opportunity you had up on the screen earlier about the 180,000 availability of credit, or was that a scenario you were just putting up there based on having 7 entities?
No, I told you guys I'm working with a bank that is able to give $180,000 business line. All right. So, and that's per LLC. I go to New York on Tuesday to finalize that. It's me. So I got to finalize that. I got to go to New York and I got to take a special training for that. And then I plan to open up an office in Houston for that. But in the meanwhile, you have to meet the criteria for that as well, because you have to be a PG. So you have to be a personal guarantor for the 180,000 for the LLC. So that is an option, yes. And I'll be able to give you guys more information next week. I have to finalize. I had to do a training for that, and then I have to go do a training with them in New York. So I go on Tuesday, and after that, I will be fully certified to be able to sell that product.
Okay, last thing, and then Greg, the builder, you got it, my brother. With regard to, you said if you had at least a fairly good 700 score, you could apply for an American Express Platinum.
I thought you had the American
Would
Express,
that give?
Fraser.
No.
I thought you told me you had American Express.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. All right. So keep going. I'm sorry.
So that's I could apply for that, and would that give me the requisite amount of credit line to be able to start the store?
If you do an American Express Platinum or Gold, you will not have a limit. So yes, it just has to be paid off in full within 30 days. But if you're getting paid back from Amazon every 2 weeks, you should always meet your deadline. So you don't have a limit.
Great.
You don't have a limit with those 2 cards.
Okay, great. All right, thanks.
She's smiling for O'Neal.
Beautiful information.
Greg the Builder.
What's up, guys? How are you all?
We're good.
What's up, bro?
What's up? The month told me after we all met last week. Damn, boy, you can talk. Man, I had to keep everybody entertained, but it's a pleasure meeting you all. All 114 of you guys left out of the ones that disappeared, but pleasure meeting you guys. It was great having everybody out in Houston, even the people that live in Houston, the ones that visited, the ones that were invited, and even just you guys here as a whole. As the month told you, the goal is to, focus on being able to diversify, and having your money spread out. And one of the biggest assets is real estate. And I've been in real estate since I was 20. I'm 38 now. I've sold over 30 million in real estate just in my lifetime. And the goal is to continue to make millionaires, just like the month always preaches. And so one of our focuses right now is we're putting together, different little segments and plays that where we can put people in position. The whole point is to build up wealth through many avenues. So with doing such, we're putting together packages and things of literature. Well, it'll help people to be able to not only just understand how to flip, property and how to gain real estate and how to build up your wealth, but just have a general understanding of real estate. So, we've been working hard since they've left Houston just to put things together. And there's a lot of lots that we've been finding that are attractive to have great coverage and great curb appeal. So we've just been working tirelessly night and day, just trying to put things together to have options for even the people that didn't even make it, but even for the people that were there. We talked a lot and had a lot of dialogue. And so I'm glad to be able to be invited to the call and, meet all these wonderful people. And we got a lot in store for you. So definitely necessary. And that's it.
He normally talks longer than that, so.
Nah, it's a Thursday night. It's chilling.
I want to thank Greg publicly for hosting us. Many of the rest of you will get to meet him soon because I want to take another trip to Houston, so that those of you that didn't have a chance to go, you're able to see it. You're able to start understanding how we could use private money, because remember, it's TBM, the bank's money. So everything we do, we got to leverage something with the bank and the relationships we have with the bank. That's why I do this, to show you guys how important credit is, how important business credit is. Those of you that I tried to get to do multiple LLCs at one time. So when you're in position, Karen knows I say this, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So when you're in position, you're able to jump and do Amazon deals, or you're able to go to Texas and they're doing gentrification. So those of you that understand gentrification is you need to be in the beginning of gentrification, because as they gentrify, the value of your property is going to continue to go up, and up. You can't come in on the end of gentrification. You got to come in on the beginning of it. So they're doing gentrification in the 3rd and the 5th ward. I learned a lot about Houston while I was there. But you've got to be able to be in the position. You might say, well, I don't have no 100,000 right now. That's why we leverage the bank's money. We leverage private money. It's very easy because the bank is buying into the deal. They're buying into the deal. And if you don't pay, they got the house. So you're leveraging the bank's money. So now you're able to use that as good debt and now do a new construction or do a flip. And Brennan showed us a lot of his properties. He's leveraging the bank's money. All right. So you're able to do that, flip it, sell it, refinance it, turn it into Airbnb, turn it into income producing property. We've got to start thinking, when you talk about wealth, you can't have wealth without ownership. Greg asked a question when we were in Houston, and I haven't been able to sleep since, because I got to make sure that the people in my CEO group have ownership. He said, how many of you own houses? And less than a third of the room raised their hands. So we've got to change that narrative. Many of you, I've got to make sure that you are not just homeowners, but you are asset owners. All right, there's a difference. So that's what I'm gearing you guys to be in position for. So if you got an income producing property in Texas, an income producing property in Georgia, Indiana, wherever, that is an asset produced. You can list that on as cash flow. So that's it. So again, thanks. Houston was a success. I want to thank Brennan. I want to thank Michelle and her husband, Dominique. I want to thank Greg. I want to thank Ashley for helping me put it all together. And I want to thank all of you that came from in and out of town. But that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. And Greg is a realtor as well as a builder. So he's helping to find us the best deals. I told him, I said, Greg, I was going to go buy me a $40,000 watch for my birthday, but I think I'm going to buy me some land. So we got to get land in Texas, many of us. And again, we got to do, if we don't have all the money, then we got to do group economics. I called Karen today. I said, how much credit you got? I'm trying to piece this together. How much credit you got? Because we might have to do 5 deals or something. So you know, so we've got to do that. And I'm very excited about it because I flipped over 100 houses, but I've never done new construction. And with new construction, you're able to control, you're able to build your product. You're not buying somebody else's fixer-upper and then trying to patch it up to sell it. And then you selling a product that you don't really know if the structure is right, if it's if it has mold, whatever. Like, so you're able to build it, and whatever you build is gonna be there for probably the next 100 years. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about Texas and all of those things. I would like to get all of you on board, but you got to be in position. You got to be in position. Those of you that build business credit, I told you guys 6 months ago, I said Floor & Decor is giving $20,000, $30,000 limits to build a house. You need Floor & Decor. I said Sherman Williams, Sherman Williams should be a part of your business credit. Y'all should have Sherman Williams. Many of you haven't even went to the store to do the application. Many of you have, and I'm proud of you. I said Amazon, you can use Amazon to buy your fixtures. You trying to buy a house or flip a house, you can use Amazon. I said, what's another one? Anybody, what's another one we got?
Home Depot.
Home Depot.
Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards. I said we need all of those, y'all. If y'all start building them now, we're gonna get into real estate. So you ahead of the game. So you might not come to the table with 100,000 in cash, but you come to the table and say, "Hey, Greg, look, I got some money, and then I got a little bit of this over here, and I got $40,000. My Floor & Decor account, I think I got $30,000 with Floor & Decor. That's my limit with them. I got 30,000. I got this. What can you help me? Because you the builder. Can we somehow implement some of my other credit so that we can build this house? I don't have all the cash, and I know we go use some private money, but look, this is what I have. How can we work it?
Yeah, and just to interject, not to interrupt and interject, with you, Devon, I was telling one of the young guys the other day, you know, he was just asking like, hey, how could he get in? Like, what did he need to be able to get in? And most people, like you said, they may not have the 40 liquid. They may not have 100,000 in the bank, but if you're working with the money, he's building up this business credit or building up your personal credit, there are outlets for you to be able to create and be somewhere in a lane to where it gets your foot in the door, whether that's having the vendor credit, again, with Sherwin-Williams or being with Lowe's or with Home Depot. You can do a net 30 for a builder or a rehabber and then charge a percentage on top just for them to be able to pay you back. Because what's going on in real estate, if you've ever done any flipping or heard of people doing flipping, during the process, you get reimbursed, you know, as a person that's doing the flip or even doing new construction. And so when they get reimbursed, you put your fee on top, whether it be 20%, whether it be 25%, you be the bank. But then if they can't go get the material right then and you have to front it, that's how you're making money on the front end. Even if that's a slow way of you getting in, you're still able to leverage. So don't let 40,000, 20,000 liquid stop you from not being able to pivot. You know, in the real estate game, there's all kind of ways. I dealt when I first got in, I had people that only had 8,000, people that had 5,000. And you put 8 and 5 together, I mean, you still got 13. So 13 is going to work somewhere. So you have to be able to position yourself to just be an asset to that person, whatever that means or whatever that looks like. So don't single yourself out and think that you can't or you don't have anything to contribute. Because if you have the credit, you do have access somewhere. So I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I just don't want people to get discouraged and then fall off. Like if you do the work, it's gonna happen. Many of the CEOs here tell you when they started, all of this was foreign to them. It was foreign to them. They hadn't heard about a payday score. They didn't know that they could go get credit and it didn't matter what their personal credit was. They didn't know about they could get gas cards and build fleet credit, and they didn't know about any of that. It's been a process. They've learned along the journey, but I'm Phil Jackson, so I'm setting up plays the whole time. I'm showing them, look, next year we going into real estate, so y'all got to be ready. And those of you, again, whether you're in Wealth Cartel or not, whether you're a wealthy CEO or not, I pray that you've heard something or a seed has been planted for you just to get in position to put your family in a better position. We're not living for this generation. We've committed to live for the next 3 generations. So that means the decisions that we make now, our great grandkids are going to benefit from. That's why I said I want everybody in wealthy CEOs to own land. Everybody to own a multi-family unit. That's something you can pass down to your great grandkids. This Amazon store, even if the Amazon store only makes $3,000 to $5,000 a month, for the rest of whenever, because Amazon is going up, right? It is thriving. It's the top retailer. So for the rest of eternity, you're able to make an extra $3,000, $5,000 that you don't have to do nothing for. Like, so we've got to start thinking like that. I know we come from a generation previously, our great grandparents and our grandparents, where you had to work for what you got. You had to work, but we live in a day and time where people are becoming millionaires off of social media. They just posting content and making money. They doing drop shipping. They posting other people's products, getting a kickback from it, selling the products and making money. So we've got to get in a different mindset. Everything we don't have to work and go work on the plantation and get a check. Some stuff we got to invest and get a check. All right. Anything, questions going forward? I just want to go, before we go, I just want to go over the book real quick. We're not done with the book, but I would like to know what you guys' takeaway is. I'd like to hear from a few people, then we'll do affirmations. But if anybody has a testimonial, I'd love to hear it. The energy is a little off now. Y'all not saying nothing.
We was just listening, Coach.
But some of y'all look like y'all been sucking on lemons. And I gotta look at that. So I just want y'all to smile.
Information overload.
So any other questions for me before we talk about the book? Or are y'all ready to talk about the book?
Let's talk about the book.
All right. Any other questions though? Does everybody understand the path we're on? So if I don't have the money, everybody should have their goals. Even if it's not Amazon, it should be to have 7 streams of income. All right. Map out what those 7 streams of income are. If you don't know, then you got to do some research. All right. If I don't have the money, I got to build the credit, or I got to take out a loan. Or those of you that got equity in your house, you got to do a HELOC. Whatever you got to do, you got to start using what you have to create more, whatever that is. Maybe real estate, maybe something else. But we're building our portfolios in this season. All right. Our index account, I don't care if you just got $100 in there. That's good. You're starting to build your compounding interest account. So if all I got is $100 every month, that's what I'm gonna put in there until I can get more. So I don't want you to feel bad about it. You've got to start. That's why I started working out like I do. I've got to discipline my mind to go to another level. So nobody's gonna teach me discipline. I got to teach myself discipline. Yeah, I have a coach. King is helping me. He's holding me accountable, but if I don't show up, he can't do anything with me because I didn't do my part. So I got to teach myself to be disciplined because I want to go to 100 million. All right, that's my goal. So I got to show up. I got to be dedicated. I do 100 push-ups a day. I can't miss that because I'm doing is I'm planting seeds in my mind so that when my mind tells me I can't, I know I can. And in the gym, sometimes my mind, I have to sit there for a minute and I have to reset my mind because when King says, do another set, my mind says, no, you can't. Sometimes my body says, no, you can't. I have to reprogram my mind instantly to say, yes, you can do it. Do another rep. So it helps you. So let's go. Let's talk about the book, then we out of here.
A couple things for me, DeMont. So basically, the first part of it was choices and habits. And so for me, I had to write down a few things. identify where I need to make some changes in my life, the choices that I've made that have gotten me to where I am, and have gotten me to where I actually need to be. So for me, it was just really kind of writing down some things and really kind of coming to grips with, okay, Gina, you say you want better, you got to do better, but I wasn't actually starting. So it's now I have to start. I have to really I have to start somewhere. And so that was really, really big for me. And it sounds really simple and easy, but when it presents a challenge for me, I'm used to kind of doing what comes naturally and what I'm good at. And so anything that kind of presents a challenge for me, I tend to back away from. So I've literally started just writing stuff down, identifying my good habits, addressing what have become my bad habits, and literally just doing a paradigm shift and making some changes, and actually talking to my friends about some things and hold myself accountable for that. So that's been a few of the takeaways that I've had so far.
That's a good one, Godmother. And I'm proud of you. Anybody else?
Coach, yeah, I got through a couple pages. I can't say 15 to be honest, but one of the things that I felt was really impactful, and it kind of became my little mantra anyway, is that it was, consistency. Because, and listen to you talk about the push-up thing, it's that consistency. And I think a lot of times we feel, I know I felt, let me speak for myself, I feel like you can go 100% one day and go 50% the next day, and then do 35 that day, and then go try to do 120 the next day. And you can kind of burn yourself out or feel a little helter-skelter. So I felt like the point that he emphasized about a little bit each time you do something, but be consistent with that. And that's how you can really achieve some great.
That's good. That's good. That's why earlier I said 1% of the people here are really going to do something. 99% are going to say they want to do it and they're not going to do it. And to go back to what my godmother just said, it tells you, I'm not sure which chapter, but it says tracking your progress and missteps is key to long-term success. So you got to treat your life just like a business. You got to know your downfalls, your flaws. You got to be honest with yourself. None of us are perfect in every area. All of us need help. All of us make mistakes. There have been a lot of things that we have started and we haven't completed. And you just got to be honest with yourself. And when you are able to track that progress, then you are able to congratulate yourself and say, good job, Gina. You completed 6 months of reading consistently. Or good job, Felicia. You did your budget and you stuck with it for 3 months. Congratulations, you stuck with your budget for 3 months. Some people may say 3 months is not a long time, but for me, it's a long time because I'm not used to having one. So those are things that you got to do, but if you never recognize it, then you're never able to grow. Another one, it said, making some course corrections will result in exactly 0 applause. So I can't depend on someone else to applaud for me. The other one says, merely becoming conscious of your actions begins to change them. Another one says, track your behavior for at least 1 week. Another one says, all winners are trackers. You cannot improve something until you measure it. So we've got to understand that, and that's the point. That's the purpose of what the book is: compound, doing it over and over and over and over. All right, next person, go ahead. Did you have something, Felicia, or somebody else?
I did. So for me, because there's not enough hours in a day, I've known the Audible book, and I found it to be very helpful. I'm tracking myself. I'm writing down my expenses to see what for the next 30 days to see what I can eliminate and how to improve on those things. So I just found the book to be very helpful. It talks about how, you have to take small steps, smart choices, be consistent and manage your time, and it'll show a difference throughout time. So it's it's really enlightening for me.
But what you got, because I got people in my family. If I'm talking to them at 6 o'clock, I got to call you back. The news is on. What the book, it says stop. It says stop watching the news. The news just aggravates the worst sadness and most stressful stories every day.
That is the truth.
I agree.
That is the truth.
Amen.
It's depressing.
Right. So I thought that was funny. I don't watch the news, but that was a good one to me. I think many of you were already on. We started our year off like this. So it says, write down your most important goals. So we can't just have it in our head. We got to actually write them down, look at them, keep going. They go change all the time, and that's fine. But when you write them down, if you have a real deep conversation with me, the first thing I ask you is, what's your goals for this year? Because I want to know what are you working towards, so that when we come back and sit down, I know how to help you. I gotta start with your goals. If you say something that if you don't have your goals written down, then that's the first step. We got to know where we're going. Anybody else want to give me a takeaway? And again, we haven't read the whole book, but we should be able to give something.
For me, Coach, it was about, for me personally, that microwave generational thinking, trying to get what you want quick.
Yeah.
This whole journey is teaching me so much patience and perseverance, because everything is not a yes and an amen all the time. You got to realize too that that's the journey to success. It don't always line up with what you think. Everything that I may apply for may not happen or at that time, but you got to keep going knowing something's better is coming. So the compound effect really dispels the quick fix method that a lot of us are looking for, because with success, it's a continued effort, daily work and hard discipline, as you always preach to us. And Dominic, it's called the compound effect.
Hey, Andrew, it's a quote in the book. It says, be patient. You spent years repeating bad behaviors. It's going to take years to build good ones.
Oh, Lord, yes. That is so true. That is so true. And see, I used to take things personally. Like I wanted it right then and there. But like I said, since I've been on a journey with you guys has been literally teaching me that everything that's worth it is going to take time. And you just got to stay on the course. And like you said, have a plan written out and continuous goals and meeting those goals each and every day. Amazing book, Coach.
Good job. Give me 2 more people, then we're doing affirmations. We're out of here.
I'll go. So mine was more of a reflective time. Ending January, I was really down on myself. Like, man, I spent all my time giving my energy to my corporate job, and I didn't meet all my goals. And when I wrote my goals, I had to think about where was I at that point. I was on leave from work. I had all this time. And then January hit and it was year end. I'm in finance. So it was, closing out officially the year, doing all of, the quarterly reports as well. And I really had to realize, okay, baby steps. 1, 2, why didn't I meet the goals? Because like it was saying, it's progress, it's consistency, and figuring out what you've been doing that's been wrong per se. And so a couple things that I changed is I always create this long goals list or things to do list and never get to half of it. And so I had to break it out into small parts for each category of my life. And then I have it on my screensaver on my phone, so that my thing is, if I'm in a spreadsheet or I'm working, I'm not going to go somewhere else. I'm in the zone. But if I happen to look at my phone, which I always am for some reason or another, my list of priorities is right there helping me stay on track. and also just being honest with myself. And again, just those baby steps and rebalancing and allocating my life. If I can pull an all-nighter to get reports done for work, then those nights that I don't have those, I need to be working just as hard on myself.
That's a good one, Michelle.
Okay. This is
Stacy.
Hey,
where you been?
You know, I had COVID and heart surgery.
I know. I'm so glad you're good.
Yeah, I'm so glad I'm good
I'm
too.
so glad you're here. I value your existence.
Thank you so much. I miss
We
y'all.
glad you were with us.
I know. I'm so glad I'm with y'all too, man. It could have turned out. Yeah, that could have turned out bad, but it didn't. So what I got from the book is when it was talking about each choice starts a behavior that over time becomes a habit. And that's so true, because once you start putting stuff out, that's my thing, procrastination. Then it becomes an all week thing. Then it's an all month thing. Then it turns into a year. Now you ain't got nothing done. Well, some stuff, but not the major stuff. And so it ran into, like, as you're making your decisions unconsciously, like you can't consciously choose to change that bad behavior and turn it into good habits. So, like, basically it's time for us to just wake up and start making empowering decisions from the jump instead of waiting until it gets bad, because just like them little things over time can help you become good, it can help you become bad too. And that really resonated in my soul.
Good job, Stacy. Hey, so it's a quote in the book. It says, what is your entertainment versus education ratio? The top 20% of the people that spend their time focused on education. So that made me, I'm an education person, but it makes it, this year I decided I was going to spend less of my time with entertainment because I had goals that I had to reach. And every time, even when I'm dealing with entertainment or going out or different things like that, the whole time I'm thinking about what I need to do and my goals and what I need to get done. I can't even really have fun. I do know that there should be a balance, but this says that the top 20% of the people spend their time focused on education. So we've got to always, that's the reason why I have you guys reading at least one book a month, because we got to always keep educating ourselves in our mindset. Let me hear one more person. What's your takeaway? I had almost.
I'll go.
I got almost 200 people here, and I it's like pulling teeth when everybody's reading the book. Go ahead, Ashley.
Everybody already
I was about
said.
to go in, Ash. Who was that? Ashley.
Everybody already said everything I was gonna say. So Ashley, maybe she has something different.
No, I'm gonna say this. Probably the same thing that everybody else said. Like, be consistent with your smaller habits. Just, you know, it can make a bigger difference in your life. And, you know, the choices you make can change your trajectory of your life. Choices are very important. And then I was gonna say, talk about luck. How he talked about being lucky. How everybody can feel like, oh, it's luck, but it really is luck if you like doing the right choices, making the right choices and doing the right thing. Of course, you can be lucky with everything. So that was my takeaway from the pages I just wrote. But everybody did say what I was gonna say, so there you guys go.
Hey, so Ashley, it's one in there where he talks about start eliminating your triggers. He said, if your trigger is junk food, throw it out. And I actually had to do that because bread is my weakness. Junk food is my weakness. Cookies is my weakness. Sweets is my weakness. And I had a cabinet full of them. So one day I just went and I just put it all in the trash can. Because in your mind, you're like, I can't waste this stuff. But late at night, when you get hungry, you start justifying to yourself how you can have a few cookies. But you've already said you're not eating sweets right now. So then you say, well, let me just go in here, this food, I can't let this food go to waste. So I just had to throw it all out and I can't buy any more. because again, I'm reconditioning my mind to now, when you have a craving, go get you a piece of fruit. The moment when you have a craving, go do some push-ups. The moment when you have a craving, then start speaking affirmations. You got to, I have to condition my mind, because if not, normally if I had a craving, I just go eat in the middle of the night, anything, or go eat a piece of cake, or I can eat a whole cake. So at the end of the day, we've got to be honest with ourselves. Good job, everybody. This has been a great day. Let's end off with affirmations. The truth is that I coach the best entrepreneurs on this planet. The truth is that I am going to help 12 of you to become millionaires this year. The truth is that I pray that at least 30% of you open up your Amazon store and start making money in your sleep. The truth is that I am going to be making money in my sleep. The truth is that at least 50% of us will own land in Texas, and we will build and flip and at least make 6 figures this year from flipping a property. Next person, the truth is, let's go.
The truth is, we are a part of a wonderful, wealthy cartel established by the great Demont. We definitely all cohesively work together. We definitely all have love for one another. Even those who are new to this call, I think you feel it. We definitely care for one another. Thank God Stacy's back with us. And we definitely are on the same path and mindset. That millionaire mindset, the wealthy mindset, the changing of lineage lines mindset, the growth mindset, the health mindset. Every part of the journey that is important to it becoming is the mindset that we are all on, and that is my truth.
Good job, Michelle Harris. Next person, the truth is, let's go.
The truth, can you hear me? Yeah. Yes. The truth is, I'm a walking boss. The truth is that my children will have their lineage will carry on from my generation on to my children's children. The truth is, each one of my children are going to have a 700 plus credit score. I think one of them is right now, and the other two, well, one of them was, and he kind of dropped, but all my children, my 3 boys, they will have 700 plus credit score, plus their business credit. My oldest son already has his, no, not the parent company. He has his holdings company. So he's working towards it. So he's trying to build his credit, business credit up. And it's just an example of what he sees his mother doing. So, and he know that we're surrounded by true entrepreneurs. So it's the truth is that they're learning from us. So the truth is, I will have property in Houston. The truth is, I will have a store in Amazon. The truth is, the Lord is continuously blessing me. The truth is, the Lord has surrounded me with good people. There's no animosity. There's no backstabbing. There's no talking about one another. So I think I had told Demont already. I said, I know we have a good group now. Like I said, we've been there. I've been there when we had the changes. So I've been there through the beginning. So I've seen the changes. And this group that we have now, like he said earlier, that, you know, there's no one, anyone jealous of one another. It's all about being, I could actually say it's like a family, because when we came there, Michelle and her husband, they opened up their donut shop for us, and they didn't have to. We didn't have to pay for things. So
and their home.
Yes. All those steps, I welcome them. That was good exercise, Michelle, but I loved it. Yes, and Ashley, just everyone, you know, when we went out, it was just like, you know, we just all vibe together. And, you know, it's where your mindset is, you know, it's still not like, you know, I don't spend my time talking about this person, you know, now my mindset is different. So I'm trying to change my children's mindset. So they, as I say, you know, kids watch what you're doing. So I just want to be the best role model that I can. And then the truth is, we're still going to have I'm going to have the car stacking, and I am going to have the 7 streams of income coming in. I am going to have passive income. I'm going to, at the end of it all, I give it all to the Lord, but I'm going to have it all. And that is the truth.
Amen. Truth is that I'm so grateful to be part of this group. I'm grateful for my coach. I'm grateful for all of you. Like, we contribute to each other's mindset. Like, I've been there with Miss Karen, like she said, through the changes, and I really do admire this group. I feel like if we network together, we can really build back Black Wall Street. I just appreciate all the education that is laid upon us every single time we meet, all the educational tools and resources that Demont, provides for us. I really appreciate that. And truth is that I am a walking boss. I will be a walking boss to the day I leave here. And I will definitely pass this legacy on to my children.
Good job, Stacy. Before you hang up, I do want to say Wealthcation is it's an annual thing that we all do. You're invited to it. I only have 40 spots. I'm gonna be texting out RSVP in the next day. It's in Miami. I cover dinner on my birthday, which is the 18th. Then we're doing a yacht. We got a lot of things planned. We're also skydiving because we're breaking fear this year. So we're skydiving, and that's the weekend of February the 18th. So if you're able to come to Miami, start looking at your flights. And then when I send out RSVP, be ready to RSVP. It's only going to be 40 spots available due to COVID and some other restrictions. I forgot to say that earlier, so I wanted to share that. 2 more people. The truth is, let's go.
The truth is, I got to put this out there. The truth is, my firm will make $100,000 this year. I got to put that out there. Yes. The truth is, I will take that $100,000 and invest it.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. I got to have it. The truth is, I will be on wealth vacation this month.
Yes.
The truth is, I will build generational wealth for my family.
That's already happening. Last person, the truth is, and then we out of here.
The truth is, I just got a family member to join our call, and he is so impressed with this that we're probably going to do several joint ventures, especially with the Amazon, the drop shipping, and he just got excited. Now I'm excited. The truth is, I listened to that book. I didn't read it. I listened to the first chapter, and I am guilty. I am guilty of a lot of things that you should not do. So the truth is, I'm gonna start eliminating bad habits and incorporating new habits that are productive. The truth is, I am going to be successful at whatever I try, and I'm not going to quit because as the book said, you start running, you run for like 3 months and you quit. You start a project and somewhere along the line, you quit. I am not a quitter. Amen.
Good job. Was that Mr. Dunbar? Or was that Mr. Frazier?
Mr. Dunbar.
It was Mr. Thompson. I'm used to getting called Mr. Dunbar though, so it's okay.
Oh, it is Thompson. I'm sorry.
Good to see you, Mr. Thompson.
We all sound alike now?
Yeah.
That was me that had the card, and I did check. It's deep. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll.
That was you that had the car. I knew I had it. I knew one of y'all had the car. I'm sorry I got y'all messed up.
We sound alike.
Greg, Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Frazier are our OGs. And I'm so Mr. Frazier, they have property in Martha's Vineyard. Like Mr. Thompson is a seasoned businessman, and I'm proud of him as well. Like I value the fact that you can even come to somebody younger and say, hey, I want you to coach me or mentor you. Like most older people, like I know it all, or this is how I believe. And neither one of them are set in their ways, which I respect. Like you just heard him say, like I see that there's a lot of things I need to change. Most seasoned people, I have a lot of them in my family. Most seasoned people are set in their ways, and you cannot tell them that they need to change anything because they don't feel like they need to change anything because they feel like they're fine. But they can find a lot of things that you need to change.
No, for sure.
So I respect both of them. I love both of them, and they continue to show up every week and put in the work. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all Amazon stores. And we always buy from people here. So now we can just start buying from each other's Amazon stores.
Amen. Who's the person that has the child daycare?
Tamika.
Tamika. I need to get in touch with her. I guess I'll reach out to Rob or you.
Yeah, Rob can
make a connect.
y'all.
Okay, cool.
I know one other person wanted to do your truth. If you want to go ahead.
The truth is, I am grateful for each and every one of you. Y'all are my family. I really, really mean that. LaShawn, I love you. She is the tax goat because I didn't know half the stuff she schooled me on. I was just going to miss it all. So thank you, LaShawn. Y'all need your tax done. I'm shouting her out. She's a goat. The truth is, a lot of this that used to be unknown and fearful to me because, things that you don't know about can be, a bit scary. But for me now, I'm walking and learning new things and actually applying them to my life. And I am just got crazy faith in everything that I'm being taught. And the truth is, everything that I am learning, slowly but surely, I'm applying it. I'm applying it all. And I've never been in business for myself until this it's been about a year and a half now, but walking and learning things like LLCs and all these credit stuff, this is nothing but amazing. So anyone that's listening, that's unsure, don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt where you're able to go and what the things that you're able to learn, because I was one that gave my whole entire life to corporate. And here I am walking my dream, getting ready to open my own wine brand. And yes, I'm telling you, please, if you're wondering if this is the move, it is the move. It is the move. It's not something that you just can't do. You can do this. So please learn.
What's up, Parker?
Huh?
I was saying hello to Greg's son. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ow.
Go ahead.
You're gonna just cut me off and I'm emotional.
Go ahead, baby.
Dag blaming coach. Well, again, y'all, I'm thankful for my coach. We're family, and I'm learning and learning and doing. And you have to do the work. You have to do the work, and the success is going to follow. That is my truth.
Amen.
Amen.
Hey, so those of you that need help with taxes, LaShawn just put her information in the chat. She has her own tax firm. She also helps people to start their own. So if you're interested in starting one and being a franchise, she helps you to do that. But before we go, LaShawn, take a few seconds. Tamika told me about some incentives for entrepreneurs or people that have companies thing. And if you didn't get your stimulus, you get money back and all of that. Can you tell us about some of the breaks that will allow people to get more money back this year because of COVID?
So with self-employment people mainly, there are COVID credits out there. Nobody should be owing anything this year on self-employment. You ought to be getting some money back. As far as the STEM, so I will tell y'all this though. This is what I've been seeing. Unfortunately, for those people that are W-2 employees and have went into a different tax bracket, maybe like $40-something thousand. If you have not had enough federal taxes taken out, they're going to eat up the remaining amount of your child tax credit. I've had about 10 clients like that. They eating it up. So you need to watch that. I know W-4s changed in 2020. If you have a W-4, you are a W-2 employee, you need to make sure you are going through your W-4s and changing them. Because if you're not taking out enough tax, enough federal tax they're going to eat that money up. So I put my number in the chat. You guys can text me. I don't have my link to my website or anything on my computer, but you can text me and I can, we can do a 15-minute consult that way. But as far as self-employment, there's money out there. Do not let people tell you can't get no money. And if you haven't done your 20, because a lot of people were scared to do their 20, I can also help you with that because there was money for that year too. You need to get this money while we can get it. Okay, because we don't know what's going to happen next year. Things are going to change drastically after this tax season, especially with the PPP and the EIDL and all that type of stuff. If you got that PPP money, you need to make sure, even if you don't come to me, you need to make sure that your tax preparer is writing off that PPP money as an expense. Because come June, July, and August, they're going to be sending out letters about that money. It's not over, okay? So just kind of be careful with that.
What's the name of your business?
It's Tax Prep Evolution. I'm Nicole Firm. I am a franchise. It's actually the first African-American woman-owned franchise. We based corporate is in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? But right now we all over. So you guys can text me and I will send you the link. We can do a 15-minute consult or whatever, and we can just go from there. Even if you don't come to me, just talk to me. Let me help you. And I'm tired, but I'm still.
Network is your what?
Network.
I love y'all. Everybody have a good week. I'll see you next week.
Love you too.